So we're getting closer and closer to the 2025 trade deadline. The New Orleans Pelicans are one of the more disappointing teams to start off this year's season. They're currently last in the Western Conference, and it's not because of their quality of play, it's because of all the injuries happening to everybody basically on this roster. Brandon Ingram is a free agent at the end of the year, and Zion Williamson, their star player going into the year, is hurt once again. And for today's video, we are actually going to be trading Zion Williamson and going in a different direction for New Orleans Pelicans basketball. And the Pelicans could actually release Zion Williamson right now and not owe him anything after this year of his current contract because of a clause that went into his contract when he signed that rookie extension because he missed X amount of games. DeJounte Murray, it's not his fault they're bad this year, and he obviously got hurt, but he has not been great in the small sample size he's been as a Pelican. Dyson Daniels is currently breaking out in Atlanta, and they also gave Atlanta 2 first-round picks for DeJounte Murray. So after watching this trade result, and DeJounte Murray going to Atlanta from San Antonio, maybe we're all learning just don't trade for DeJounte Murray. CJ McCollum has 2 years left on his deal. I would like to maybe trade CJ McCollum. We'll see if we could pull that off. Brandon Ingram is a free agent at the end of the year. He just hired Clutch Sports as his agency, and you can't really afford to lose him for nothing at the end of the year. So we're going to see what we're going to do with him. We are not trading Herb Jones. He should not be in trade rumors whatsoever. Trey Murphy just got extended. We're not trading him. Yves Missy's been a pleasant surprise as a rookie, and Jose Alvarado is still a good player in this league. And they're maybe seeing if they have something in Antonio Reeves, Trey Jameson, or Jamar Robinson or Brandon Boston with all these injuries happening, kind of like last year's Memphis Grizzlies 2.0. I like Jordan Hawkins a ton, but you could just see all the injuries this team has right now. So once Zion Williamson is healthy, we're probably going to be making a big trade. And something I'm going to do for this Zion trade is I'm going to trade override a deal. If you guys watch me trading away LeBron James or Jimmy Butler, it's really tough to get a good amount of draft capital in 2K. So to make it a little bit more realistic, I'm going to trade override a deal. Now, for Zion, I think I'm going to get more for him in this game than the Pelicans would maybe in real life, because in this game, there's not going to be as many injury concerns with Zion because it's 2K, it's not real life. So just keep that in mind. And I'm trying to think of teams that would want to trade for Zion Williamson. I think like the Houston Rockets could make sense if they want to get a top scoring option on this team. I would be interested in getting Jabari Smith Jr. in return. I'm sure Dallas would want Zion Williamson. Imagine Luka throwing Zion all these lobs. That would be super entertaining. Maybe Los Angeles is looking for a star, but it'd be tough for them to get there financially because they can't really offer too much. Minnesota could make sense if they want Ant and Zion. Like, we could bring Julius Randle back to New Orleans, but he's a free agent at the end of the year, so I don't really know if I want that. Golden State could make a lot of sense as well because they're trying to get a second star with Steph Curry over there. Zion with Wemby in San Antonio would be fun. And then just thinking about Eastern Conference teams, Indiana, maybe, but they do have Pascal Siakam. Atlanta, funny enough, would be a fun destination. Trey throwing Zion some lobs. Miami, maybe, but they don't really want to move Hero, and I don't want Jimmy Butler right now. And then kind of looking at these teams up here, yeah, I don't really think many of these teams would make a move. So maybe like Memphis would make a trade as well. But I think the Houston Rockets, a team looking for a true number one, could make some sense. I guess we'll try to do Dylan Brooks, which is kind of difficult, and Jabari Smith Jr. Now, I don't really need Dylan Brooks, but I don't mind having Dylan Brooks. We throw Karl Matkovic in this deal, and I would like to get some first-round picks that maybe are not super valuable to them. Like, I would get, well, I guess they don't have many of theirs. It's all swaps. So I would take this first-round pick from the Nets and their first-round pick in 2029. So you're getting 2 first-round picks, Dylan Brooks, who we could flip, and I probably will try to flip, and Jabari Smith Jr., and we're giving them Zion. They're looking for some offense. They're shedding out some defense here, and we are going to be sending off Zion Williamson for 2 first-round picks, and then hopefully the reclamation project of Jabari Smith Jr., who I still think has some potential in this league, so we are going to agree to that. And then we're going to give Brandon Ingram his wish. We're going to send him to the LA Lakers. He's a Clutch client, obviously a former Laker, and then that gives the Lakers some contingency plan once LeBron retires. We're getting Devo's expiring contract. We're getting Rui Hachimura. He's got 2 years left on his deal, and we're getting a Lakers unprotected first in 2029. We're just going to let this trade go through. I think the Lakers have to throw in that 2029 first. All right. I did not think they were going to accept that trade. So yeah, I also made a fun trade right here. We're basically sending CJ McCollum back to the team that drafted him, the Portland Trailblazers. We just acquired DeAndre Ayton. So yeah, I'm just opening up more wing minutes on this team going forward. That is just crazy. I did not think I was going to make 3 big moves to start off this video, but here we are. Yeah, CJ McCollum for DeAndre Ayton. No longer is Ayton going to be blocking Donovan Clingan over in Portland, and we could use some center depth on this team right now. So Ayton will block Misi. They both have 2 years left on their deals, but we have a front court now of Jabari Smith Jr. and DeAndre Ayton. Let's look at this rotation. And this is what the team is going to look like. It's going to be DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr., and DeAndre Ayton in the starting 5, with Trey Murphy, Jordan Hawkins, Yves Missi, Rui Hashimura, and D'Lo off the bench. Once Alvarado is back, he will be getting the starting minutes. And then we did accumulate some more draft capital going forward. We did get 2 future first-round picks from the Rockets in the Zion trade. We got that Lakers first-round pick in the Brandon Ingram trade. And now we're relying a ton on Jabari Smith Jr. Let me know, like, that trade package in real life, who would say no? Who would say yes? Let me know down below. But yeah, we're going to invest a little bit into Jabari Smith Jr. and hope that, like, him, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones could be the future 2, 3, and 4. I don't know if Yves is the future 5, and I doubt DeJounte Murray is the future point guard. We may actually look to flip him in the offseason. And yeah, with Alvarado back, I'm probably going to play Alvarado over D'Lo, which means we may either buy out D'Lo or see if somebody wants him at the deadline. So we're here at the trade deadline, and we are 19-33. And it's just going to be tough for New Orleans to end up making the playoffs and a tough Western Conference. And every Pelicans content video I make about this team currently, everybody's like, that's a Pelicans fan or watches every game, that Willie Green's got to be fired and David Griffin's got to be fired. And it's kind of sad because this team thought going into the year they could definitely be a playoff team. I don't need to move Dillon Brooks right now, but if a team is willing to give me a good offer, I will trade him. And this is actually a good trade offer. I think Dillon Brooks for Mitchell Robinson. If the Knicks can somehow pull this off, they should definitely do it. But yeah, Dillon Brooks probably is going to be a rocket after the deadline. I just don't need another center. Like, we have Missi, we have Aiden. And I didn't really get any good offers, so we're going to hold on to Dillon Brooks after the deadline. Thankfully, the Pelicans do own their first round pick. DeAndre Aiden, yeah, it's got 2 years left. We're not going to re-sign anybody right now. So I think guys that could be traded in the offseason, definitely Rui Hashimura, DeJounte Murray, and Dillon Brooks. As Luka wins MVP, Jared McCann wins Rookie of the Year, which may not happen now since he did suffer a serious injury. It'll be interesting to see if, like, Zion and the Rockets can go super far in the playoffs, as we see no Pelicans or Ingram or Zion on All-NBA first team. Yves Missi does make All-Rookie first team, though. 7.2 points, 7.7 rebounds. I think I'm going to start him over Aiden next year. I don't mind having DeAndre Aiden come off the bench. This team did not make the playoffs, the play-in tournament either. We ended up going 36-46, which is actually a pretty good record after the start this team had. Like, I took over, we were 5-22. So they ended up going 31-24 over their next 55 games, which truly isn't that bad. But yeah, this team obviously got off to an abysmal start. Hopefully the lottery gods are on our side. I would like for Brandon Boston to be, like, on this team next year for sure. And we'll see, like, what this team is going to be like going into the real, like, first full year in the post David Griffin, Willie Green era, because I guess I'm replacing David Griffin, but we are going to fire Willie Green after the playoffs. And then you have Shea and Cat, 2 former Kentucky Wildcats, get conference finals MVPs, but the Thunder, behind Shea's 43 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, win the NBA Finals. So there goes LeBron. I guess, yeah, that makes Brandon Ingram make that much more sense. Neither did Ingram or Zion get a Finals championship this year. LeBron and Chris Paul are going to head to the Hall of Fame. And we are here, draft lottery time. Please give me some luck. Ooh, the 8th best odds. That's not really in our favor. Let's see what ends up happening, and we stay at 8. Okay, so we're going to have the 8th overall pick in this year's draft. That is it. And yeah, we are going to fire Willie Green. I don't know, like, it's a shame we didn't really get to see him coach a playoff series. Should we make Kemba Walker our head coach? I kind of want to offer Kemba Walker a head coaching job. They may just get blocked. James Borrego, honestly, though, I may just promote to being the head coach. So I think we're going to eventually do that because Kemba got blocked. I think James Borrego would have been a good head coaching hire for any team last NBA cycle. But yeah, like, it's a shame the Pelicans never got to win a playoff series with Willie Green. And last playoff series, Zion Williamson was hurt. And this year has been like a wash of a season. And I'm going to look to hopefully get some draft capital from the OKC Thunder. We know how much they love their defenders. And maybe after the poor offensive season from Alex Caruso, they don't want to pay him. So we're going to send Dillon Brooks to OKC for picks 18 and 19 in this NBA draft. I have to turn off Trade Override. I could swap this 2026 Clippers Rockets pick for the 2029 Rockets pick. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I like my chances at, like, at least the Clippers being bad next year compared to the Rockets being bad in 2029. All right, I want to see if the Phoenix Suns would give me their 2028 first-round pick, and I'd take on Jusuf Nurkic, who's the negative asset at this point. I give you Rui Hashimura. I don't really want another first-round pick in this year's draft. They're going to say, yes, just give us Swap Breathe, and that is going to be fine with me. So Nurkic, I could eventually cut. I wasn't signing anybody in free agency. We have a crazy center room with Missi, Nurkic, and DeAndre Aiden right now. I have 3 first-round picks in this draft. I don't know if I'm going to trade DeJounte Murray. I don't think that's going to be a draft night trade. Like, that would be maybe something after team player options. I don't know who would want DeJounte Murray. Do we send him to Orlando, team up with Paolo Banchero? As the Pacers won the lottery, they select Cooper Flagg. Ace Bailey goes to Charlotte. Dylan Harper goes to Utah. Detroit gets Krivas from Arizona. And then VJ Edgecombe goes 5 to Baylor or to Washington. And we're going to take a flyer on potentially the next point guard for this team. I've drafted Igor Demin and maybe Kasper Shakushanis a little bit recently. So we're going to take Nolan Traore, who's having somewhat of a down year in France right now. He has shown some flashes, and I still think he could be a top 15 guy in the 2025 draft. So we're going to take a chance on him. He's going to sit behind DeJounte Murray for a little bit as Kasper Shakushanis ends up going right after. And then with my next two picks, I took Drake Powell out of UNC and Asa Newell from Georgia. Kind of happy he fell to me at 19 there. And I'm excited to develop those guys as we are going to pick up the team options on Jabari Smith Jr. from the 2022 class and Jordan Hawkins from the 2023 class. As Kyrie Irving opts out to become a free agent, we're going to hopefully bring back Brandon Boston Jr. as well. And then I don't think we have any noticeable free agents like D'Lo gone, Jamal Cain gone. I think I would like to bring back Boston, like Javonte Green can go. We'll see where Brandon Ingram ends up. Yeah, it looks like the Lakers have offered him a 5-year extension. And our team right now is honestly pretty deep as it is. So I don't think I'm going to make really any notable signings. As the Sixers actually offered Brandon Boston 2 years, $11 million, I'm going to match them. So this is what we look like after player progression. DeJounte Murray followed by Jabari Smith Jr., DeAndre Ayton, Herb Jones, who doesn't progress, Yves Missi, and Jordan Hawkins. Trey Murphy actually goes down, which is a shame to see. And first, we're going to lock up Jordan Hawkins on a nice team-friendly extension, about 3 years, $30 million. I'm going to give Jose Alvarado 1 year, $6 million on an extension. And we're going to be locking up Herb Jones for a long time, 3 years, about $17 million a year. I was hoping to get Jabari Smith Jr. under an extension right now, maybe a little bit like buy low, but it seems like he's going to test free agency as a restricted free agent next offseason. And this is what the team is going to look like. DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Jabari Smith Jr., and Yves Missi in the starting five, with Hawkins, Ayton, Alvarado, Boston Jr., and Nolan Traore coming off the bench. I'd love to move Ayton, but I think the salary is too high to trade him in season. Under James Borrego, the new head coach, we are going to be, I think, perimeter centric. Yeah, so we're about 3 stars to start things off. We're at home against the Clippers to start off the year, and we lose by 17. Now, let me just double check, but I'm like pretty confident that we do own our first round pick this year. Yeah, we have a swap best with the Bucks. So say we are really bad, which I wouldn't be totally surprised. That is going to be fine. And we just blow out the Suns by 30. I need DeJounte Murray to get up that trade value this season. And here at the trade deadline, we are 31-21, which is actually pretty good. I think it's also helping out that some Western Conference teams are cratering, like the Phoenix Suns, the LA Lakers, who re-signed Brandon Ingram, are at the bottom of the Western Conference, and we do have their first round pick in a couple years from now, but we do have a 1.8 point differential, which isn't maybe as good as some of these teams. I don't think we're like a contender by any means, but I think we're seeing maybe DeJounte Murray have some increase in trade value this year. Herb Jones, great 3-point shooter, 38% from 3. Trey Murphy, I'm actually shocked he's that bad, which is kind of crazy. Jabari Smith Jr., you'd like for that efficiency to be a little bit better. Yves Missi's averaging a double-double. Jordan Hawkins shooting 40% from 3 off the bench. DeAndre Ayton's giving me good backup 5-man minutes. Brandon Boston shooting 30% from 3. Honestly, what I may do is swap Trey Murphy and Jordan Hawkins. Like maybe Trey Murphy is just going to be better suited off the bench, because it's kind of shocking that he's bad this year. And I like having like Yusuf Nurkic just like a mentor in this team and he doesn't have to play. We got both the former Blazer and Sun centers in Nurkic and Ayton. We're going to have some cap space coming up. I'm still not opposed to trading DeJounte Murray. This could be like something similar in Atlanta. Like he had a poor first year. They couldn't really move him. And then I guess played good enough in year 2 for the Pelicans to give up decent amount of assets for him. So that's where we could be headed. As Luka wins MVP this year, Dylan Harper, Rookie of the Year for the Utah Jazz. Yeah, his scoring from Rutgers carried over to the NBA. He also won 6th Man of the Year, I guess, behind Keontae George. I feel like he should be starting. Shout out to Zachary Sachet. All right, developing big offensive season from him. SGA is your Clutch Player of the Year. Jason Kidd, Coach of the Year. And I'm just going through here just to see if we had anybody land on an All-NBA team. No Zion Williamson. Definitely no Brandon Ingram after the year they just had. Did we get Nolan Traore? No, on an all-rookie team. We didn't play a ton. So we actually fell off a little bit. We finished as the 9th seed in the West there. The Rockets are currently the 6th seed with Zion. And I think the Rockets, like, they do need some shooting, and Zion doesn't help that. So I do wonder if they would actually be in the market for Zion, or maybe they're actually in the market, like, waiting for somebody like a Devin Booker. I'm intrigued to see how much Jabari Smith Jr. wants in free agency, because it could be a decent amount. Trey Murphy did play better towards the end of the season. And let's see if we're able to beat the Golden State Warriors in the first leg of the play-in tournament to survive. We have a very good first quarter against them. We have a great first half. We dropped 72 points in the first half, and we're going to blow out the Warriors by 21 points. Jordan Hawkins, 25. Herb Jones with 22. We're taking on the Sacramento Kings in the second leg. Like, I'm cool with making the playoffs, but I'm also fine if we do end up missing it, because it does guarantee us a lottery pick, but it's cool to get playoff experience for the young core. We're currently up by 19 against the Kings, and I do feel like we're going to beat them. There's a little bit of a choke incoming. Is it going to happen? Nope, we are going to beat the Kings, and we win 2 straight games to get Pelicans playoff basketball for the first time since the 2024 playoffs. And we're going up against the MVP, Luka Doncic, and the Dallas Mavericks. So hopefully here on a national stage, DeJounte Murray can get up that trade value. We do end up losing game 1, 123-101. Luka had 31, 7, and 10. Game 2 goes to the New Orleans Pelicans, 132-126. Herb Jones, 28 points in this one. Jordan Hawkins, 22 and 7, 19 and 4 for Trey Murphy. Game 3 goes to the Pelicans. Jabari Smith Jr. took 22 free throws. Wow. All right. They end up tying it up 2 games apiece. Luka had a 39-point triple-double. Game number 5 goes to the Mavericks. They win 123-111. DeJounte had 21. Trey Murphy had 21. Game 6 does go to the Mavericks. So we do end up losing the series in 6 games, which is fine. It does stink we lost, but shout out to Jordan Hawkins playing well. Maybe he needs to start for us at the 2 guard next year. Jabari Smith did struggle. Can't believe he took 22 free throws in a game. Murray was fine. I mean, he's going to get exposed a little bit. Herb Jones was great. Trey Murphy. I mean, I can trade you now, Trey, so I don't need you to be that bad for me, as we're going to see the NBA Finals between the Mavericks and the Cavs. The Rockets got swept. I mean, that's a tough round 1 matchup against the Thunder, and the Mavericks win it all. So here we see Brook Lopez retire on the Denver Nuggets. There goes Russ, Eric Gordon, Batum, George. Nobody here that I think played for the Pelicans. So we see Greg Popovich retire. Paul George and Russell Westbrook head to the Hall of Fame. So here we are at the draft lottery. I did see our logo a couple times. So we had a swap. So I should have realized that Milwaukee finished with a worse record than us. So we were automatically getting their pick, which is kind of sweet because then I'm glad we got at least playoff experience for the young guys. And that Clippers pick from OKC, I was willing to not take that pick, but you guys were like, we want Houston's 2029 first, and we'll give you that pick. Thank you. It's a lottery pick. Now, neither one of those gets lucky, but we have 2 lottery picks. The Bucks will own our pick at 18, which is nice. So we do have 8 and 11 here in the 2026 draft. In the first year under James Borrego. Hey, back into playoffs, which is great to see. This is the AJ DeBansa, Cameron Boozer draft. We'll see how these guys perform, as we're not going to be picking high enough to get one of them. And next year, I would like to see more Asa Newell in the rotation and Drake Powell. So I think, $33 million is not bad in this modern day for DeJounte Murray, and he can run the show a little bit. I'll test the market, and what I may do is offer, this is the only team that I think I could convince to take on DeJounte Murray for the next 2 years, the Chicago Bulls. If I send them DeJounte Murray for Kobe White, a first rounder in 2029, and a first rounder in 2030, would they agree to this? They say no. What about 1 first there and the 22nd pick? They say no. I don't really want to include any first. I would throw Brandon Boston in this deal. That's the one guy I would include. And does that get this deal done? It does get a counter. I don't hate that counter because Aiden and Nurkic are free agents, but you know what? I think I may hold on to DeJounte Murray for now. And the Lakers get Cam Boozer with the number 1 pick. So they're going to have, I guess, Ingram, Boozer, Duke guys at the forward spots. AJ DeBansa goes to Philly. That's a sick pickup for them. So with the 8th pick, I'm going to take a backup for next year, Chris Sinak Jr., because Aiden and Nurkic are free agents. Bryson, I think that's Tiller. Tyler goes to the Knicks there. At number 10, we're going to see a trade. 10th pick for Ivica Zubac. That's a nice pickup for the Grizzlies. And we are on the clock here. I think I was looking at, there's some good point guards like Isaiah Harwell's here, Jalan Lowe, Darius Cuff Jr., LZ Harrington. And I think I'm going to go Isaiah Harwell here, just getting a combo guard with the 11th overall pick. Thank you, Los Angeles. As Kawhi Leonard was just traded to the Warriors for pick 12 and a 2027 first. That's actually kind of a cool trade. All right, so we're going to sign both these guys, Chris Sinak Jr. from Texas and Isaiah Harwell. I think that's what it is. I think that's at Houston. So we'll pick up the team option on BC. I'm going to let Antonio Reeves walk. Trae Young, Luka, Isaiah Hartenstein hit free agency. I would love to go after Isaiah Hartenstein, but I don't know if we'll have the cap. I'm not giving Jabari Smith Jr. $44 million. If somebody gave him that, I would be like, okay, that sucks, but I'm not paying him that money. Aiden wants 18 mil. Yeah, he's gone. I'm also going to be making this trade with the Washington Wizards. We're going to be sending them Brandon Boston Jr. and Jose Alvarado. I'm getting Sadiq Bey and a 2028 first round pick, swap best with Philly. Not a bad pick. We can now open up more minutes for some of the young guys with this deal. Guys like Nolan Traore, Drake Powell can play a little bit more. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on Jabari Smith Jr. Hardenstein wants $20 million. I would love to get him, but I think in order to get him, Jabari Smith's got a $24 million cap hold. So I'd probably actually have to trade away DeJounte Murray or Trey Murphy. I'm tempted in the Trey Murphy trade, but I think I may give him one more year. And Hardenstein did, I think, re-sign with the Thunder, 5 years, $97 million. Wow, so he got a nice payday from them. Are you kidding me, Portland? How much did you just give Jabari Smith Jr.? 3 years, 114. I hate that. Oh my God, I hate that contract so much. I have to do it though. Damn it. Oh my God. I thought I was going to get him back for like 25 mil a year. That is gross. That really is gross. I'm going to pick up some veterans like Chris Boucher. I wanted Dorian Finney-Smith, but he ended up signing with the Sixers. So I'm going to go after, I was on Garrison Matthews just on a cheap 1-year deal. And we should be able to pick him up. And Jabari Smith Jr. does go up to an 88 overall. Murray stays the same. Misi's up to an 83. I mean, that is an exciting front court. Eve Misi and Jabari Smith Jr. I can't lie. I mean, if Nolan Traore really, like, I got to play him more. And if he does develop this year off the bench, I will look to move, I think, Murray sooner than I think. All right, so it's going to be DeJounte Murray, Hawkins, Herb Jones, Jabari Smith Jr., Eve Misi starting 5. Trey Murphy to come off the bench. I'm just going to give a little bit more to Murray. Nolan Traore, Asanuo, Drake Powell, C squared are going to get minutes right now. Isaiah Harwell could get minutes after the deadline. We're 3.5-star perimeter centric. We'll see how we look with this team. We do start off the year with a loss to the Denver Nuggets. I think Murray had 6 steals in that one. Our first win is not going to come in the first 2 games of the year. Is it going to come in game 3? It does not. Are we going to start the season 0-4? Yes, we do. Our first game or first win is in game 5. Herb Jones, 1 of 14 from the field. Okay, Herb Jones is off to an abysmal start this season. Wow, James Harden still there in free agency if you want him. I just wanted to see now where my draft pick is this year. It is swap best with the Bucks again. Thank you, Drew Holiday. And we're at the trade deadline. Slightly worse this year. We're 23-24, which puts us as the 10th seed in the Western Conference. We have a 0.6 point differential, which is better than like the Blazers who are ahead of us, the Spurs who are currently the 6th seed. So we could be better. I feel like than our record shows. Offensively, though, we're a bottom 5 team in the West. So I think we're still looking for that number 1 option. I don't think that's going to be like Jabari Smith Jr. Or it's somebody on the team right now. We are a really good defensive team, though, which I think has been any mold of the past. Jabari Smith Jr., though, has been really good, and I think could be a good number 2. DeJounte Murray has been fine. I'm going to see if there's a market for him. I could decline the team option, but I'd like to see if I can get something in return. Hawkins, we inked up to that extension. Trey Murphy playing well, and I want to win with Trey Murphy, but that may change. I may make a move. Nolan Traore, oh my God, the guy does not miss a shot this season. I know it's a limited sample, but still, Drake Powell can't hit a shot. He's like the reverse. Eve Misi's been great. 10 rebounds, 1.3 blocks. He's up to an 85 overall. Asanuo's been a fun piece for this team. Kristanak also can't hit a shot. All right, so I was checking like who's on the trade block. Tyrese Halliburton on the trade block. He's been all right for Indiana. I don't know if this is risky because Halliburton's been bad in real life to his standards. He's been better over his last 10 games. Big contract. Do we try to buy the dip on Tyrese Halliburton as a player? I mean, the 3-point shot has been pretty bad in 2K over the last 3 years. So I don't know if this is risky. I'd be offering Murray, Harrell, Isaiah Harwell, and Drake Powell for Jackson Robinson, Khalil Ware, and Halliburton. I don't even know if they say yes to this, but I feel like getting Halliburton on this team would be electric. Do they counter? They do not. I would throw in, where's this pick at this year? Pretty good value. I don't want to throw in any of those picks. So I'll throw in my first next year, top 5 protected. Does that get it done? They say no. And I'll throw in the Lakers pick in 29. That's a pretty good pick. They say no. Okay. They originally wanted Hawkins. We could revisit this in the offseason. So, you know what? I don't think I'm going to move Murray. You know what I may actually do is give Murray an extra year on the extension worth pretty much the same amount, $30 million, so then I could trade him on draft night now. So Luka wins MVP this year, Asian Advanced Rookie of the Year. Jarris Walker, 6-man, Wemby Depoy, Most Improved goes to Colin Murray Boyles, and Clutch Player of the Year goes to Curry. Damn, I was going to draft CMB when I took Drake Powell. Might regret that one a little bit. So we do see Cade Cunningham on All-NBA first team. That's cool with Wemby. Second team, you see Chet. You see J-Dub, but on the Clippers. All right, I guess they couldn't afford everybody. And here's third team with Cooper Flagg and Halliburton in Indiana. So I don't know why Halliburton was on the trade block. That is interesting. Maybe he requested a trade. I don't know. But we did finish the year as the 9th seed, so we're going to be playing in the play-in tournament once again. We go 42-40 with a 2.4 point differential. I do feel like we could beat Portland in round number 1. They have Lou Dort, Trey Johnson, Scoot Henderson, who has just been disappointing so far again this year, which is sad. And let's see what goes on here against the Portland Trailblazers. Round 1 of the play-in, the first leg, we're at home. We are undefeated in this video in the play-in tournament. We went 2-0 last year. Are we able to go 3-0? Yes, we are. So we are going to go to the second leg after Trey Murphy drops 25. Drake Powell had 18 points off the bench. Eve Misi had a nice double-double. Taking on the Thunder, I guess they've been disappointing. I mean, they lost J-Dub. They brought back Hardenstein, who would have been fun on this team, but I think Yves Missi has been more than serviceable as our starting center. And I think there goes our undefeated play-in tournament streak. We're currently down by 24 points in the third quarter. We had a nice third and a nice start to the fourth. We're actually going to make this game look way more respectable. Wow, we almost had a crazy comeback towards the end there. That was probably DeJounte Murray's last game as a Pelican, if I had to guess. And Luka and Cade are your conference finals MVPs. And the Warriors win it all. Steph gets one last ring in 2027. That is dope. And Kawhi gets another ring as well. So 3 rings with 3 different teams for Kawhi, as Luka got conference finals MVP and they lost. So James Harden got picked up by the Celtics. He ends up retiring. We don't have anybody retiring as a Pelican. There goes Tibbs. There goes Doc Rivers. James Harden heads to the Hall of Fame. And guess who just got lucky in the draft lottery? Thank you, Zion Williamson. It got me the 2nd overall pick. So we have 2 in this draft. We also had to swap, I believe, with Milwaukee, which is going to be at number 10. Thank you. So we have pick 2 and pick 10 in this draft. That is it. So we could look to trade DeJounte Murray in the 2nd pick if we want to like revisit the Halliburton talks. Because looking at the prospect scouting, there's a really good power forward named Nico Saric from Lithuania, but we do have Jabari Smith Jr. and I could trade up to get that guy. But I don't know if that's worth it right now. You know what I want to see if I could do? Could I offer 2 and 10 to move up to number 1? I don't know if I could throw in somebody else if they don't want to do this, which I think it's a good package. And the Hornets agree to that. So I'm going to take Nico Saric here with the number 1 overall pick. And I think I'm going to move Jabari Smith Jr. to the small forward spot. So the Hornets took Matthew Perry. Ooh, I would have taken probably Terry Burks there at number 2. We're going to sign Nico Saric, the number 1 overall pick. He's going to make like 17 mil a year. So right now it's going to be Yves at the 5, Nico at the 4, and then Jabari Smith at the 3, which is kind of fun. So I don't think I'm done yet. I think we're going to make a big move. I just don't know who it's going to be for. And I'm going to make this trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers. DeJounte Murray and Drake Powell for Darius Garland, who's in the final year of his contract. Cleveland's going to save about $10 million with this deal as well. They actually counter it. Okay, well, I wonder if that's a sign. I actually want to go back and see if I could do the Halliburton deal. So if we went to the Pacers and I asked for Halliburton, I would give you Drake Powell, DeJounte Murray. We'd acquire about 7 mil more than allowed. I would throw in Isaiah Harwell on this deal as well. Do they get this deal done? Yes, they do. So Tyrese Halliburton, welcome to the Pelicans. It's going to be Halliburton at the 1. No one backing him up. Hawkins at the 2. We still have Jabari Smith, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy. So maybe Herb at the 2. Nico Saric, the number 1 overall pick. This is a fun team. And then obviously Missi at the 5. I'll bring back Sadiq Bey on the minimum. And then I will try to get a better backup, I think, than Chris Sinak next year. So Mitchell Robinson, he's from Louisiana. Let's get him on a 2-year deal. Bang, there we go. And then if we're looking at contract extensions, Yves Missi does want a decent amount of money. I don't know if he's worth that. So I think I may hold off just because a one-dimensional, well, not really a one-dimensional center, but a limited offensive center. I don't know if I want to pay that much money to, but we will be either getting off of the Trey Murphy contract soon or getting him back on a cheaper price tag. And I'm going to try to bring home a friend, an old face in Jose Alvarado. Oh man, he chose the Bulls. So Halliburton regresses. I wonder if he's not happy here, but something to keep an eye on. Jabari Smith still our highest overall player, followed by Missi, Jones, Hawkins. I'm interested to see what Nico Saric can do, the number 1 overall pick out of Lithuania. All right, so Halliburton and Jabari Smith are going to get the most minutes here in the starting 5. We're going to go 27 to Hawkins, 29 to the rookie, and 28 to Missi. We got Herb Jones, Nolan Traore, Trey Murphy, Mitchell Robinson, and Asa Newell off the bench. We're 3.5-star perimeter-centric under James Borrego. I'm excited about this team. I just wanted to see our salary cap breakdown, though. So at the end of the year, Missi's a free agent. And that is pretty much the big notable one. So we'll keep an eye on him throughout the year. We start off the year at home against the Hawks, and we do lose 114-112. Halliburton, not great in his Pelicans debut. And we are 35-19 at the trade deadline. This is our best record yet. We have an 8.8 point differential as the offense is now 3rd in the Western Conference. You love to see that as the defense is still really good. Halliburton, no, like the efficiency is not good. He's averaging 22 and 10, 3.5 turnovers a night, which is a career high. I don't know if I'm impressed. Jabari Smith Jr. has been great, and I'm glad maybe now in hindsight I matched that contract. Jordan Hawkins, okay. For $10 million a year, that is a steal. Nico Saric, he's still 19, so we're fine with that, what he's doing. Trey Murphy found his shot back. He's like, Matt, don't trade me, don't cut me, or don't not re-sign me. Like, I'm really good still. Jones has been good. Missi's been good. Nolan Traore just doesn't miss off the bench. Like, do I start him over Halliburton? I don't know. Asa Newell has been kind of disappointing this year, but either way, I like the team. I like what we got. Not making any trades at the deadline. I'd like to see this be 4-star system proficiency for the playoffs. Luka takes home another MVP. We do get the Rookie of the Year in Nico Saric. Maybe this #1 overall pick at the power forward spot will be better than the last one. He was drafted in 2027. The one that didn't work out was in 2019. Dylan Harper still coming off the bench in Utah. Okay, Drake Powell wins most improved. His efficiency does not move me, though. John Morant, clutch player of the year. Did we get anybody on an All-NBA team this year, though? We did. Tyrese Haliburton with those unfortunate shooting splits. Like 57% true shooting is okay because he gets to the line a decent amount. But I'd like for him to be better for the playoffs. Maybe Cooper Flagg just doesn't get along with Haliburton. I don't know why he was on the trade block. So we're taking on the reigning NBA champions. Oh my God, the Warriors. They tried to get Cat for so long in Golden State. And he would just be so much, like imagine trying to defend the pick and roll, the pick and pop with Cat and Curry. It'd be unstoppable. Like you would have to hand them the title immediately. Because we're seeing how good like Brunson and Cat is in this pick and roll. It would just be on another planet with Curry and Cat in the pick and roll. So I think going into the playoffs, we're going to bench Asa Newell. Man, it's been heating up. But I think we're going to bench him. I think we're going to stick with the 9-man rotation. I think we can go like 23 minutes a night to Murphy, 27 to Herb Jones. I'd like to go 35 to Jabari, 37 to Haliburton. Let's go 29 to Hawkins. Round number 1 against Golden State. Can we beat them? All those years, the Warriors beat AD, and they still got our number. Damn. I was hoping to win the first playoff series victory in how long? Was it the 2018 playoffs against the Blazers? Was that the last time the Pelicans have won a playoff series? It feels like it. Jabari Smith and Haliburton maybe getting it done. Haliburton, why did you forget how to shoot? Just very disappointing. Like he's just not an elite 3-point shooter anymore. You have the Mavericks and the Bulls in the NBA Finals, and the Bulls win in 7 with Nikola Jokic. Okay, he's in Chicago getting your Finals MVP. KD, oh, Jimmy got his wish. He got to end up on the Phoenix Suns. Like Sham's been beefing with Jimmy's agent on Twitter about that recently. And I did see our logo there. Thank you, Phoenix. And which I think is still from the Zion trade. And that Philly trade with Washington, I may get some top picks and I get the #1 overall pick again. All right, I'm just saying if there is a generational center in this draft, I may not have to bring back Misi on a max contract. I love the way he's been developing, but he's now going to get kind of expensive. Let's see. The top guy in this draft, Luther Moore, 7-foot center out of Maryland. I think I got to take him. So yeah, I'm going to take Luther Moore, the #1 overall pick. I could trade him, but I think that was the right pick going forward. Kirk King ended up going #2. He actually just looks as good, if not better. 6'10" small forward. Did I make the wrong pick? All right, I'm going to make this trade with the Miami Heat. I'm sending them pick 7, pick 25, which was our pick. Trey Murphy, the last year of his deal, we are going to send him to the Miami Heat for Wendell Carter Jr. I guess he's in here to make the money work, but I'm also getting Jarris Walker, who I like a ton, gives us a little bit more size. And I think defense over Trey Murphy going forward. And the Heat with that pick took Jin Wang, who I was probably going to take, but I just didn't want another center. So we're going to sign Luther Moore, pick up the team options on Chris Sinak, Asa Newell, and Nolan Traore. We have just all these centers with Moore, Sinak, Mitchell Robinson on the team right now. Wendell Carter Jr., I do not need to pay Yves Misi $30 million a year. All right, I'm going to sign Josh Green. We're going to renounce the rights on D'Anthony Melton and Sadiq Bey. We're going to keep an eye on Misi. We'll see if anybody offers him a lot of money. If not, I mean, maybe we bring him back, at least on the qualifying offer. I actually think we should get back Yves Misi on the qualifying offer for about $15 million. So is the team good enough to win a playoff series? I feel like we're going to have to make an uncomfortable trade at one point. All right, so it's going to be the same starting 5 as last year. We're going to have Herb Jones, Jarris Walker, Nolan Traore, and Luther Moore off the bench. That means like Mitch Robb, Wendell Carter, Chris Sinak, Asa Newell all not getting minutes. Like those could be prime trade candidates at the deadline. And we are the 1 seed at the trade deadline. We are 39-12. We have an 11.3 point differential. And I wonder if I can make this team better without really gutting much of the roster. Haliburton, all right, I'm not like knock on wood, but I think he learned how to shoot again. 25 points, 10.8 assists, 46, 36, 84 splits. Jabari Smith, 18 and 7, 38% from 3. There's Nico Saric. This guy's a beast. He really is. Him and Jabari Smith have to be a lot of fun to watch together. Jordan Hawkins shooting 39% from 3. Herb Jones shooting 41% from 3. Jarris Walker shooting 42% from 3. Like a part of me is like, oh my God, do I even make a trade right now? And I wonder, I mean like, Jordan Hawkins is really good. He is. But I wonder if I can also add Stephon Castle, who's making about $16 million a year, without really having to give up much of a starting piece. Like I would give up Mitchell Robinson or Chris Sinak. Like how much are we off here? $5 million. I would want to also include, I think Asa Newell can make this money work easily. Let's just see. Would they do this trade? Give me Christopher Fleming. And would they do this? Stephon Castle has a no trade clause. Damn it. All right. What about maybe a little bit better of an offensive talent? What if we went after Jared McCain? So let's say we offered Asa Newell, say we offered Christian Ack Jr. Oh my God, he's got a no trade clause as well. So screw it. I don't think I'm going to make any trades at the deadline. Let's just see if we don't win at all. Let me just re-sign. Halliburton's a free agent at the end of the year. Bang, not anymore. Jabari Smith's got a player option. Bang, not anymore. And James Borrego took home Coach of the Year, 67-15. Tyrese Halliburton, best year in a while. 26 points, 11 assists, all NBA first team. And we are the 1 seed in the Western Conference. The time is now for the Pelicans. 13.5 point differential, second best in the NBA. Are we on a collision course with the Bulls? Maybe. And here were the end of the season stats with Jabari Smith Jr., a very efficient 18 and 7. Nico Saric, man, this guy looks really good. Jordan Hawkins, 39% from 3. Also, did he just shoot 99% from the line? All right, you'll love to see that. There's Herb Jones, 40% from 3. Jarvis Walker, 40% from 3. Yves Missi, 55% from the field. And then there's Nolan Traore as well. So here we are taking on the LA Clippers in round number 1. I think I am going to make some adjustments to the starting 5. I think for the playoffs, wow, Luther Moore shot 38% from 3. He's going to get like 15 minutes. I think we go 20 to Walker and Traore. I can go 30 to Missi. Let's go 34 to Sarge and Smith, 29 to Hawkins, 35 to Halliburton. Can we beat the Kawhi Leonard-less Clippers? They have J-Dub, Mathern, and De'Aaron Fox. That is a fun trio, but we sweep them. And we're going up against Golden State in round number 2. The team that beat us last year. We can look for revenge. Who could step up as the number 2 after Halliburton? We do end up winning the first 2, and we are going to sweep them. We are 8-0 in the playoffs, going up against the San Antonio Spurs in the conference finals. Jordan Hawkins. This guy is unreal for $11 million a year. So we're taking on the Spurs here in the conference finals. Flynn, Castle, Branham, Sohan, and Wemby. It's a good team. Caden Lewis, who I think they took 3rd overall back in 2026. Yeah, he's a really good player. Game 1 goes to the Pelicans, 2 to the Pelicans, 3 to the Pelicans, and we swept them. We just swept the Western Conference. Halliburton shot 36% from the field and 24% from 3. He was garbage. Oh my God, shooting the ball. He put up counting numbers. How is he that bad? How did he get conference finals MVP over Hawkins, Saric, or Smith? All right, and we were on a collision course with the Bulls. We are 12-0 in the playoffs. Make that 13-0. We beat them 117-94. Can we make that 14-0? We are 2 games away from going undefeated. We beat them by 1. Hallie goes off. Game 3 goes to the Pelicans. And can we win game 4 of the 2020? Oh, wow. Wow. The 2029 finals. We start off 15-0. And the Bulls had a... Damn. They beat me by... Oh, my God. We choked that 4th quarter for making history and going undefeated. And we just gentlemen sweep them anyway. Finals MVP is Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, that is bittersweet. I thought we were going to go 16-0. And this was such a good team. And I felt like we just had so much good talent that I couldn't even get into the rotation. And we also had a ton of draft capital as well. So that was my hypothetical if the Pelicans trade Zion Williamson, what it could look like. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the decisions I made in the comments below. If you guys did enjoy, I would appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are not already. And if you want to see any other trade ideas too, let me know down below. I did a trading LeBron Lakers rebuild, a trading Jimmy Butler Heat rebuild. Just did this one with Zion and the Pelicans. So let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.